Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the number one most valuable real estate community in existence. Today, we're bringing on Mr. Earon Bevans to come and share with us how to scale our businesses to six figures with predictability. Earon, how are you doing, my brother?
How you doing, bro?
Oh man, I'm excited, man. Blessed, blessed, blessed. Grateful to have you here today.
Man, it is so amazing to be here. I hope y'all don't mind. I don't have my braids in, so I'm over here with the wet mop look for today.
Nah, man, we love it. It's coming together here. I see you got the braids. You going from the. It was last year was pretty short, right? Now you're growing it out.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah,
crazy.
yeah,
That's
for sure.
crazy.
Sure. Yeah. How you
Wow.
doing, bro? It's good to see you.
Man, I'm fantastic. Life is amazing. It is what it should be. You know, it's crazy. Just yesterday, I was having a conversation with my wife, and I was talking about just like what was going on. And I recognized like I was complaining, even though I have the problems that I once wanted, right? I got all this stuff going on. I got these
Mm.
deals. I got a lot of leads. Maybe I'm feeling overwhelmed, with all the opportunity. But like these are the best problems that I could have. I can't complain about having a full plate if the goal was to eat, right? And so,
Uh,
man, I'm excited. I love you, Earon. I mean, we chopped it up before. Last year was a crazy year for me. That was my
yeah.
first year hitting six figures, man, and that happened because of the live stream that we did together. No doubt, we got up on the stage and we affirmed it that it was gonna happen, and it happened.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what's crazy about it, bro, is the first time we actually connected. It was you telling me you were gonna do big things. Okay. The
Yeah.
second time we connect, so that was the first affirmation. All right. And then I hear that you're doing REI Revolution. We have all these people on here as a testimony to that. The second time we meet is on your platform where we affirm that you would be hitting six figures. And you did that. And I think now we're gonna be affirming some more big things for you. So I'm excited to do that by the end of this.
Hey, as am I, man. I know this is going to be an amazing opportunity. And one of the things I listened to this morning when I was getting the day started was Earl Nightingale. The secret. The
Yep.
strangest secret, and it's so true. And sometimes when you're in it, you don't really think about it too much because you're just doing the day to day thing. But like, it rings so true. What you say, what you have the courage to speak life into, will happen for you, right? You knock and it shall be given to you. You ask and you will
Yep.
receive, right? And it's so
Yep.
true. There's a reason that he
Yep.
talks about it. There's a reason why, the law of attraction is popular. They talk about it in the Bible. You will reap what you sow, and it's just a universal truth
Yep.
and law. So I really want to share
Yep.
that with everybody today. I want to talk about you and your story and catch up. It's been a while, so I'm happy to see what you got going on. It looks like you're starting a new business as well, so I can't wait to
Yep.
talk about that. So it's a
Yep.
lot of stuff going on today, man. How have you been? And for the people that are first hearing about you today, who is Earon Bevans?
Absolutely. And before, can I share a little gem before I get into a little bit about who I am?
Please.
I'm reading a book right now. I would encourage everybody to look into this book. Okay, it's called "Success Through a Positive Mental Attitude" by Napoleon Hill and W. Clement Stone. Here, let me pull it up on the. Let me put it on the screen. It's called "Success." Screenshot this, y'all. Success Through a Positive Mental Attitude by Napoleon Hill and W. Clement Stone. And I'm about to make a claim that's stated in this book that John was just alluding to right now. And it's a little bit far-fetched because it goes beyond the tangible things that we can see, touch, taste, feel, and hear. Okay, and what the claim is that your brain is both a transmitting set and a receiving set, similar to your TV, similar to your radio, similar to your cell phone. What does he mean by that? What he means by that is what he means by that is, think about this, y'all. Think about this. I pull up on the I can pull this device up, my cell phone, and I click a button and I take a video of myself, and you can hear me talking, and I can send it to somewhere in France. And they're gonna see a video of me and hear my voice. how did a picture of me and sound of me get to somebody else's device? There's no connections. How? How did it do that? It's through these frequencies. It's through these waves. So your cell phone device is both it's a transmitter and a receiver. It's both a transmitting device and a receiving device. It can transmit frequencies that will go to somewhere across the world, but it can also receive messages, voices, video, pictures, right? And so this is much less of a far-fetched idea than we might think, because we're all holding the device right now in our hand that is both a receiver and a transmitter. He says your brain is the same thing. You see, your brain, your thoughts are energy, they're frequencies. And check this out. And I'm not going to go too deep, John, because I get so excited. This is one of my favorite topics of all time.
We love it.
But everything is energy. Everything is frequencies. All right. And I'll explain what this has to do with business and success. Okay. But everything is frequency. Everything is vibrating. Even if it looks like it's standing still, it's vibrating. It is in motion. I love what Bob Proctor says. He says we live in an ocean of motion. Just doesn't look like it. Everything is vibrating. Okay. So light is vibrating at a certain frequency. Right? And those frequency or wavelengths, when they vibrate at a certain frequency, you can see it. Did you know, though, if it vibrates a little bit slower, you can hear it. So it starts off where you can hear it, the frequency, you can hear it. But if you speed up the frequency, you can see it. It becomes light. If you speed it up even more, you can feel it. See, heat waves are frequencies. That's all they are. And did you know your thoughts are frequencies that are vibrating hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times even faster than heat and sound? Your thoughts are just frequencies. So your brain is a transmitting set and it's a receiving set. So when you get a thought that comes into your mind, you've just received something. You got mail.
Yeah.
You got mail, right? And so the beautiful thing about it is that these frequencies have a tendency, the thought frequencies have a tendency to manifest their physical counterparts. Right? Just like the frequency from your phone, whenever you press send, it sends a message across the world. It manifests itself in little pixels that come up as a message, as a video, as a voice note. Your frequencies are designed to manifest themselves in their physical equivalent. So I'm willing to bet $1 million, because this is law. This is what they call, this is the science behind the law of attraction. So I'm willing to bet that whatever you have in your bank account was manifested over the last 18 months of thought frequencies. If you don't like what's in your bank account right now, it's because of you. It's not the economy. It's not anything else other than it's your thought frequencies. But Earon, I want to be rich. Yeah, but I can almost guarantee if you're experiencing like I hate my bank account. I hate what's in my bank account right now. I'm struggling to pay my bills. You know, maybe my friends and my family doesn't even know how much I'm struggling. I'm not demeaning you in any way. I've been there. All right. I've been there multiple times. But what I'm saying is that I promise you, do an audit of the majority of your thoughts over the last 6, 9, 12, 18, 24, 36 months. And I promise you, you're going to see thoughts of fear, thoughts of scarcity, thoughts of I hope I don't fail, thoughts of I'm scared to fail, thoughts of I'm not good enough, thoughts of what if I go big and what if I tell everybody my goals and it doesn't happen? I'm telling you. But here's the beautiful thing about it. Right now, you can change it. You can change it by controlling the frequency, the thoughts that you're having. And one last thing I'll say on this, on the practical side, is that, you know, what's amazing is the feelings that you feel are frequencies. So, you know, love, joy, peace, kindness, generosity, gratitude. All of those are, there's actual science behind it. If you do a CAT scan, when somebody says and thinks thoughts of gratitude or looks at two little kittens playing and you have a CAT scan on their head, your thought frequencies vibrate higher. If you listen to a little baby cooing, if you watch a video of two little baby gorillas playing with each other, two little tiger babies, you get this warm fuzzy feeling. That's a frequency. So when you think thoughts of, man, I'm so grateful that I'm a millionaire. I'm so excited for the abundance that I'm feeling today. I'm so grateful that I'm so loved and I have this amazing community that I'm a part of. I have somebody like John Johnson in my life. I'm so grateful that I have life. I'm so grateful that I have legs, I have health, I have family. And even saying things that you're grateful for that you don't quite have yet. There's a principle in the scripture where Jesus, I don't care what your beliefs are, it's not my prerogative. But the ancient text is the ancient text, and it's still here for a reason. That's all I'll say. Okay. And one of the prophets of old, he goes by the name of Jesus. One of the prophets of old, you know what he said? He said, he says, whatever it is that you're asking, have faith that you have already received it, and then you shall have it. Ain't that something? Think about that. That's not me that said that, y'all. That's the prophet. He says, have faith that you have already received it, and then you shall have it. So what was he saying? What Tony Robbins says, and we give Tony Robbins and Napoleon Hill and Grant Cardone and Bob Proctor, we give them the credit when the prophets have been saying this. They said, you got to be grateful for the thing that you want if you want to have it. Ain't that something, John?
Amen. Amen. It's the truth, man. There's so much truth in the word, and I think as time has progressed, what we want changes, but the principles are what you're saying. They are law. They don't change.
Yep, 100%. So bringing all this home, all that to say, your brain is a receiving set. So if you want to receive abundance, riches, wealth, happiness, excitement, adventure, love, passion, then you have to think thoughts of this. Because when you think thoughts of this, guess what's going to happen? It's going to change you're going to vibrate differently. You're going to talk differently. You're going to breathe differently. Your tonality over the phone is going to be different. It's not as if you're going to sit there and be like, I'm rich, I'm wealthy, I'm rich, I'm wealthy. No, it's when you're thinking these thoughts, what ends up happening is you end up breathing different. You end up talking different. You end up walking different. You end up being attracted to different things. You end up in locations like this where you get an idea. You end up being around certain people. You end up hearing certain ideas. You're turned on by certain things. You end up in certain places. And then next thing you know, you're being compelled. You're feeling compelled to take this action, to take this risk, to take on this venture, to do this work. Then things start happening to you and for you, And so I just wish that before we even get started with anything, because we haven't even started dropping nuggets yet. But before we even get started with this, I just hope that we can get the vibration right in the room, and that everybody understands that anything that we talk about, if we throw out big numbers right now, if we throw out big ventures, if I challenge somebody here, that I want us all to be on the same frequency, that there is literally nothing that is beyond your capability and your capacity. There's nothing that's beyond you, as long as you would set your frequency. If you could tune your mind's vibrations to that of abundance, to that of wealth, that of riches, that of opportunity. But here's the thing, you got to keep it there most of the time, even when life starts lifing. Even when you're behind on bills, even when your baby mama's giving, even when your baby daddy's challenged, even whenever the deal falls through, even when you got scammed, even when you bought into the lead source and didn't get the leads, even when the bad stuff happens, you have to stay in a spirit of gratitude. And I'm telling you, just keep it tuned in there and watch what happens. You'll start noticing opportunities. And people will be like, man, I don't know what it is about you. I like your attitude. And you don't have to have John Johnson's personality. You don't have to have my personality. You can just be you. I'm just saying you're going to be showing up different, where people are like, hey, I like you. Let me send you a deal. Or hey, kid, let's do Zoom and coffee. I know you're in a different state. Let's do Zoom and coffee. And next thing you know, you're collaborating ideas, and you're in the middle of a JV worth $50,000 and you get a $25,000 check 50-50. I'm telling you, it's the way this stuff works. So I just wanted to get popped off with that, John, because by talking about it, I vibrate highly, and hopefully that helps our audience to vibrate on our same frequency.
No, absolutely, and I really appreciate it, and it's so true. Like the power of what you speak is what you emanate. You're literally transmitting that energy out, and I have an interesting philosophy about this. I was kind of breaking it down. What I believe is, we have God who has created this universe that we all live in, and each of us have our own universe. We won't get like too far into the weeds on this, but when you say like you project to the world around you, the universe that you live in, I want more for myself and I'm willing to do whatever it takes to get it, you're going to be presented with those opportunities where you've got to take some sort of risk to show and prove that you are the person that you claim to be. And I think that this is going to help a lot of people, especially going through that imposter syndrome, that feel like, hey, well, I've been down bad for so long. I've struggled with all these different vices, or I've just never been, living up to my full potential. I'm not where I want to be yet, but I want to do more. And now that I'm trying, I feel like I'm a fraud. For those people, and I was there when I first got started, I was so afraid to even call an agent, get on the phone and just talk to somebody, right? You've got to document yourself doing the things you say you are going to do, because what it helps you see is that you aren't a fraud. You're not an imposter, because imposters don't have proof. When you can see that physical evidence that you really are who you say you are, when you have all the tapes, when you have all the receipts, when you've got all the logs, that's when you can eliminate that syndrome of feeling like an imposter, because you're not one, right? So I love what a lot of the things I'm seeing on my timeline have been recently, outwork your self-doubt, but document the entire process. We've been going at this for the last 2.5 years. Somebody asked the other day, they said, John, how is it that you've built up something where you got all these people and you're not even like really popping off, with your personal brand on social media? I said, we have created something that people resonate with. It's been all word of mouth. We haven't spent a dime on anything. It's just that we have really done something that people feel is real, and they want to bring other people to come and be in proximity. And that's so important, okay? And I can't wait to chop it up here with you, Earon, because I want to really emphasize the importance of risk being an entrepreneur. I was listening to Earl Nightingale this morning, and he says that not taking a risk and playing it safe, right, is the biggest risk anyone can take. And I 100% agree with that, because there's going to be opportunities where, like Earon is saying, you've got to decide, to stay in that positive and abundant mindset and attitude, because when these opportunities present themselves, you have to be ready to take action. And a lot of the time, it's going to feel uncomfortable. And it doesn't mean you've got to be perfect, but it means you've got to be trying. You've got to be actively doing what it is you say you want to do or accomplish. And so I also want to really emphasize the importance of getting around people that can recognize you for who you want to become and not who you've always been, right? You've got to recreate yourself. It is so important, y'all. Go get a journal if you don't already have one and start writing down literally what you want your life to look like. Start to prophesize, blessings and abundance and accomplishment for your life, because if you're not going to pick up the pen and write your story, somebody is going to give you a story that you're going to live. All right. And so I'm excited, man. I appreciate you coming on today. Earon, I know we're going to chop it up. There's got to be some people in here that are going to change their lives from this podcast. I tell you this because it was about January or February of 2023. Earon and I hopped on a podcast. We started talking about affirmations and having a good routine, a positive routine. And I kid you not, Earon had me prophesize that I would make 6 figures that year. And that was the first year that I cleared 6 figures wholesaling real estate. So today, I'm going to make an insane goal to be making 6 figures every single month. That is my new goal, is to build 6 figures a month with predictability using these Google ads that I'm investing this money into. And I'm going to scale not only my business, but we're going to scale this community and get it into a spot where each and every single person that really applies themselves can make a bare minimum of 6 figures a year. All right, there's no reason that people can't get into real estate and start making enough money to take care of themselves and their families. You know, I was looking on Threads and I see all these guys, they're on Threads and they're talking about they're really down bad, they're broke, but they want to do more. You got to really decide, you know, you got to really take that risk. And for those of us that are here and that are watching this video, whether you're in this live audience or you're watching the replay, know that you have a purpose behind your life. You're not here by accident. You're on the same frequency. I met Earon on an app called Clubhouse back in like 2021. And I remember I told Earon, I'm going to be doing big stuff in this industry. Don't sleep on me. And Earon could recognize that. He knew my energy, right? And you have to come correct, man. Leave whoever it was you were in the past and decide today who you are going to be, because you are in great company. You are around the right people that are going to help you succeed. You never know. I want to see in the side chat how many of us are tuned in right now. We got to get some fire emojis in the side chat to see how many of us are actively paying attention and participating, because I'm telling you, it's the very people that are in these rooms, that are in this community, that will be your business partners. You will be closing deals with these people. You never know what type of private money lender is watching this call, what type of flipper you could assign a deal to. You got bird dogs. Like, everybody is here, ladies and gentlemen. You have an incredible once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and you can't let it slip. So, Earon, for the people that are hearing about you for the first time, that are maybe seeing you for the first time, give us a little bit about yourself. How did you get into real estate, and why is it that you decided to go all in on wholesaling and help so many people scale their businesses up to 6 figures?
Yeah, so I'll keep it really brief in terms of my story, but basically I'm a high school dropout. I always knew I was gonna do big things. I always knew that I was gonna serve a lot of people and have an impact on people, because I'm a big thinker. But I hated school. I felt like I didn't like all of the rules. I didn't like the fact that I had to ask another human if I wanted to use the restroom. I'm very ADD. You know what I mean? I know that that's very cliche, but I don't like paying attention to stuff I don't like to paying attention to. And school's just a waste of time. I'm like, okay, I learned everything I'm going to use to get rich and be a positive impact on the world by about grade 8. About grade 8, I've learned about all I need in order to make my way in the world. And so I dropped out my sophomore year, and I went straight into the ministry. I went into the full-time ministry. And so, you know, you don't hear me talk about that a lot on social media, because I sell a lot of products and services on social media, and I never want anybody to think that I'm utilizing my faith and my history as a minister and being heavy in the ministry as, oh, buy from me, I'm a God-fearing person. That's disgusting to me. I can get you to buy my product and my services without having to tell you my faith and belief. But that's a huge part of who I am and how I operate. So long story short, I got into a very serious relationship by the time I was 23. So I'm in the full-time ministry between the age of about 17 to 23. I'm in a relationship now at the age of 23. And the person that I was in a relationship with, they were an entrepreneur. She owned a hair salon. And you know, I was painting. And as a painter, and I'm not talking about an artistic painter, I was like painting houses. I didn't make a whole lot of money. But I was totally fine in the beginning. But then after a year and a half, my person approaches me and is like, Earon, I want to talk to you. I'm like, okay, is everything okay? And she says, I don't like the way I'm starting to feel about you. And I'm like, huh? What do you mean? And she says, I feel like since I've known you, I've been growing, my business has been growing, but I don't feel like you've been growing. And she's like, it doesn't bother you that if you were to die today, that your boss would literally replace you within the day and they wouldn't so much as send me a condolence card? She's like, you have so much more potential. And so, man, it got me thinking. It hurt, and it was like a kick in my stomach. But man, it was a reality check. But I'm a high school dropout. I don't have any trade skills, and I don't have any degrees. I don't even have a high school diploma. So I'm like, all right, bet. I am very competitive though, and I'm capable and I'm competent. So I'm like, okay, she called me out that I'm not a good provider. Bet. Watch me run this up. But I'm like, shoot, how do I run this up? I don't know. How do I make money? And so I started going on YouTube. I started doing research on Craigslist, like where can I go to run up a bag and it still be legal without me having to go to school? Because remember, I hate school. So I got into sales, and I learned sales, and I learned communication, and I was doing door knocking. I was selling energy door to door, and I ran up a bag doing that. But I was like, now I got a taste of money, and I'm like, man, I want to do something where I can make a lot of money, a lot of money. So then, my one of my OGs, he knew that I was on this quest for making money, and he said there's gonna be a seminar coming to a local hotel. It's called a legacy tour, and they're gonna be teaching people how to do real estate with none of their own money and none of their own credit. I said, say what? Because when you hear real estate, you think about that's where most millionaires are made, and or most rich people operate in real estate. So I'm like, okay, say less. So I went to the uh the seminar, and this gentleman most enthusiastically talking about how he was making 5, 10, 12, $15,000 checks, not using any of his own money, not using any of his own credit, doing this thing called wholesaling. I fell in love, bro.
Yeah.
I was like, man, something in my gut said, bro, I think this is it. And so long story short, I went to this was back in 2017, by the way. And I went to YouTube University. I started researching this wholesaling business and started taking action. I started doing bandit signs, started writing letters. In 9 months, I got my first deal, and I made $750. Now
Dang.
that might not be a lot. That might not be a lot to some of you guys in here, but let me tell you, $750, bro. It may as well have been $1 million, because for me it was proof of concept that this is possible. I was looking around like, hold up, there's no police officers coming to get me. There's no SWAT team. Like, okay, this was legit. This is real. Okay, bet. Let's run it up. And I had two thoughts immediately. My first thought, I'm gonna get rich. This is how I'm gonna get rich. Say less. That was shark smelling blood. Like, I'm about to get rich, rich. My second thought is I'm gonna make so many people rich,
Dang.
because I'm a natural teacher. And I'm like, if this works, I'm gonna tell everybody. I'm gonna tell my friends. I'm gonna tell my family. I'm gonna show everybody how to do this. And so that was at the end of 2017. 2018 was my first full year wholesaling real estate. I did $500,000 in assignment fees that year.
Wow.
Now, I'm not gonna hold you. I'm obsessive compulsive. So when I key in on something, I'm locked in. Club? What club? Club sandwich during lunch. You know what I mean? I'm not drinking, I'm not partying, I close a deal, I'm getting right back to it. You know what I mean? Don't think that it was I made $500,000 and I was outside. I was not outside. I was
Right.
outside if I was going to walk properties. You know what I mean? But I hustled, I grinded, and I made a lot of mistakes. But I did $500,000 in my first year. And then from there, I said, okay, and then in 2019, which was my second year, I said, now I'm gonna fulfill prophecy number 2, which is I'm gonna help other people get rich. So I said, okay, this year, and I told everybody on social media, because I started marketing and building my brand at that time. I'm like, this year, mark my words, y'all, I'm gonna help 10 people hit 6 figures in 12 months or less wholesaling real estate. By the end of the year, we started a community called the Superhuman Wholesalers,
Yeah.
and it now has 20,000 active members nationwide, and we helped 20 people achieve 6-figure revenues in that first year. Since then, I've helped 15 people achieve 7-figure revenues in 12 months or less. I've helped a few dozen people hit multiple 6-figure revenues, and I don't even know how many people we've helped to get their first entrepreneur check and their first 6 figures. So that's my story in a nutshell about wholesaling and getting into real estate, bro.
Well, that's incredible, man. And I know, like, I've seen Earon, in his journey and how he's evolved. And I mean, Earon is consistent. You sometimes see a lot of people pop up and they say that they're going to make wholesaling their thing, but something happens, right? And I want to talk about that too. Is like there's always going to be something that happens. There's going to be some sort of test. There's going to be some sort of tragedy, and it's going to be a test from the world, really from God, that's going to ask you, are you really serious about change? Like, do you really want it as bad as you say that you do? Because the reality is, and I really want to touch on this today in this call, is you've got to be willing to risk everything for the dream that only you can see in the beginning. Because if you can't see it, and if you can't believe it, if you can't imagine that it's real, how can you convey that belief or vision or thought to somebody else? And I don't even want to just talk about thinking about it. I want to see people really being about it. Because when it gets really difficult and the shit hits the fan, you've got to be able to stay consistent. And that's one thing that I've seen Earon do over these last couple years, is he's been consistent. I've never seen him take his foot off the gas. So it's incredible to see, how he's been pivoting. I know that there's been different things that have happened, different marketing regulations. It doesn't matter, right? The scarcity mentality of, oh, well, wholesaling is dying. You can't think about it, because the reality is the only competition that you have is your procrastination. There's so many motivated sellers out there waiting to talk to you. You just got to position yourself in a way where you can instantly get on the phone with those people. And I want to talk to you, Earon, about kind of what you've got going on and how you think the best way to get in front of these types of people is. Because what I've seen in my own business is I've done cold calling. I don't even know how many calls, how many hours, tens of thousands of hours I've been on the phone calling and building that character, building that skill set of being able to handle objections in real time, right? Understanding, how to dance on the phone, because it's really a dance, right? You got to go through and qualify people. Then once you get the ball rolling, you got to follow through, right? Then you got to get the deal closed. It's a whole step-by-step process, and I want to really break down that process here with you, Earon. But for the people that are just getting started, that may have just heard about wholesaling, what would you say to the people that are like, you know what, I can see it, I can feel it, I know that this is that opportunity that I've been waiting for? Where do they start? What is the actionable instruction that you would personally give to somebody to go out and immediately get to that first deal in the next, realistically, 60 to 90 days?
Yeah, the good question. So the first thing that I would tell that person is, keep in mind from the jump, life is just like, it's just like holding a lamp. And when you're holding a lamp at night, imagine you're walking down a road, it's pitch black, there's no street lights, and all you have is a lamp, not a flashlight, a lamp. Okay? And you're holding that lamp, right? You can only see like 5 feet in front of you. So if you want to see 10 feet in front of you, you got to walk 5 feet. Right? And so life is the same way. You only need to know the next few steps. Take the next few steps, and then you'll get the next few steps. You can do that all the way home. And in this case, all the way to the bank. Okay? So if you're just learning about marketing, if you're just learning about wholesaling real estate, we're going to break it down into 4 components, and then let me give you your next actionable, instructionable steps. There's 4 components to a 7-figure wholesaling business. If you're taking notes, these are the 4 components to a successful 7-figure wholesaling business. Number 1 is lead generation, aka marketing. This is the first component of business. Okay? Lead generation, aka marketing, is the first component of business. Component number 2 is conversion, aka sales. Because yes, we're generating leads. Well, now we need a predictable process for converting those leads into contracts. Right? Contracts are our product that we sell as a wholesaling company. Oh, y'all thought we didn't sell product? Yeah, we sell product, and our product is a deeply discounted real estate contract. Okay? And we get that product through component number 2, which is conversion. Component number 3 is fulfillment and delivery. That's component number 3, fulfillment and delivery. Now, what do we mean by fulfillment and delivery? Well, there's two sub aspects of fulfillment and delivery. And the first one is called disposition. This is how we fulfill on our promise. Right? What are the promises we've been well, in marketing, our promise was we buy houses cash. We buy houses cash. Hey, I buy houses cash. Right? And then in conversion, we were saying, Mr. Jones, I will buy your house for this amount by this date. So the first 2 components, we're just promising. Well, now we better deliver. Now we better fulfill. So the first aspect of fulfillment and delivery is disposition. Now here's how we define disposition. It is the predictable process for securing and closing a buyer. That's it. It's the predictable process for securing. Okay, securing means you gotta get a contract, an assignment contract, and then closing, they gotta close. All right, that's how we fulfill. Okay, that's the first sub aspect of fulfillment. The second sub aspect of fulfillment is transaction coordination, aka the predictable process for what happens with the paperwork. Guys, even if you know this, I would encourage you to take notes on it, because what I'm doing is I'm taking what could otherwise be viewed as a complicated business. I'm showing you how to take 7 figures and I'm putting it into 4 components with simplicity so that you can see it, write it down, see it, look at it in front of you. And when you see how simplified it is, you might be like, hey, you know what? Okay, these are 4 departments. I can do this. I could do 7 figures.
Yeah.
I could do 7 figures. I promise you. Okay.
And you know
so
what?
transaction.
I want to share really quick. You can't get what you want if you don't know what you want to get, right? You can't get the result that you're looking for if you don't know what that looks like. And he's giving you the roadmap right now for everybody to be writing down, taking a note, being proactive. I want to see again. We got 76 people in this audience before Earon goes on ahead and finishes what he's sharing with us, because this information alone is enough for you to start taking action and scale towards that 7-figure business. This is no joke. So do not sleep on this opportunity. We got to see how many of us are paying attention in that side chat. Type a 1 in the chat if you are seriously paying attention. Give me the number 1 in the chat if you're seriously paying attention and taking active notes, talking about exactly what we are going to be doing to get to this bag. We can't be sleeping on this, y'all. Do not sleep on Earon, man. I'm telling you, from experience, I did this last year. We're scaling like this is no joke, y'all. I'm going to be doing $100K a month. We've been writing about this, guys. I'm telling you, it's going to happen, and he's giving us the sauce. So write it down and participate, y'all. This is no joke. All right, man. Let's go. Let's go. Let's get this money, y'all. Come on. Let's go.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay, so in your notes, we left off at sub aspect number 2 of component number 3. Remember, component number 3 is delivery and fulfillment, right? Sub aspect number 1 is disposition, the predictable process for securing and closing a buyer. All right, sub aspect number 2 is transaction coordination, which is just fancy talk for the predictable process for what happens with the paperwork. Now, let's talk about that really quick. Why is that important to have a predictable process for what happens with the paperwork? Because wholesaling real estate is less about real estate and more about what? Now, most people are going to say it's mostly about people. Is it though? Now, sales is mostly about people. Wholesaling real estate is mostly about paper. Paper. Paper.
Yeah.
It's paper. So if we don't have a predictable process for the paperwork, I'm telling you right now, you're going to get to that 6 figures a month and you're going to be so overwhelmed. You're going to be like, Lord Jesus, I don't know if this is even worth it, bruh.
Yeah.
You're going to be so overwhelmed because guess what? Each deal has a purchase agreement, an assignment, amendments, addendums, affidavits of heirship. We got to do disclosures sometimes, novation agreements sometimes, indemnifications. There's realtors red tape. And imagine you got 6 of them closing in the same month. You're going to be so overwhelmed with paper. You're going to be like, Jesus, I don't even want this doggone 6 figures. Now, I know you're probably not going to say that, but you know what I mean, right? I'm telling you. Guys, look, y'all think I'm playing. Let me show y'all something really quick.
Let's see it.
Real quick. Look, let me show y'all, because I don't want y'all to think that I'm out here capping. I'm not out here capping. Look, what does it say?
Yeah.
$100,000 month. Justice Cash Buyers, August 2019, the year of miracles. You can go back on my social media Look up Earon Bevans on my social media and go back to 2019 and you'll see I have checks that validate. I hit my first six-figure month in 2019. In 2019 of August, I hit my first six-figure month. My friend bought me this trophy because from 2017, I was talking about my first six-figure month. It took me 2 years to get to my first six-figure month. Why am I showing y'all this? Right? Why am I showing y'all this? Oh, Crypto says, but did you have females in 2019? Bro, I had females when I was broke. Ooh. Stop playing with the kid.
Tell him.
Stop playing with the kid. But here's why I say this. Because during this time, I made six figures in a month. And if you would have asked me, Earon, what's transaction coordination? I'll be like, I don't know. That sounds like a car part. I don't know. Is that right? Like right next to the combustion engine? What's a transaction coordination? And I'm telling you that the amount of stress that I had because I didn't have a process for the paperwork. I was looking for stuff in my email. I didn't know which email it was. Some of the stuff was hard copy papers. Some of it was printed out. Some of it I had to go to this email. Some of it was in a Google Drive. Some of it was in a Dropbox. I was so stressed out. It literally, whenever I made all that money, I couldn't even really enjoy it. My stomach was in knots and I was stressed. So I know I'm going on a tangent, but the point is that little sub aspect of transaction coordination, that word emphasis heavy on the coordination, organization is very, very important. Okay, y'all ready for component number 4? Okay, now watch this, y'all. The first 3 components, you'll get rich. Okay, but this 4th component is where you graduate from being a hustler to an entrepreneur. This 4th component will determine whether or not you're a one-hit wonder where you hit your first six-figure month or your first 6 figures and we never hear about you again, or are you somebody that hits your first 6-figure month and next thing we hear about you is you're hitting your next 7 figures. It's contingent upon component number 4. Component number 4 is called finance. Finance. Earon, this wholesaling, what you talking about finance? Finance is the predictable process for what happens with your money. Now, why is this important? Okay, this is important because money is like water. That's why we call it currency. That's why we call it cash flow.
Yeah.
That's why we call it liquidity.
Yeah.
Money operates just like water. Guys, the English language is not by coincidence. Okay? And so why am I bringing up water in terms of having a process for your business? Because if you don't have a process for your business, there's no if you don't have a process for your money. Because see, money takes the shape of the container it's put in. And the shape of your container is the process for your money. Now, if you have no process for your money, then it's going to be equivalent to you throwing a bucket of water in the street. What's going to happen? It's either going to seep through the cracks or evaporate to the sky. But I guarantee you one thing, that water's not going to be there tomorrow. And then if people don't have a process for their money, then they wonder why, Earon, I made 6 figures last month. It's been 4 months and I ain't got no money. I need your help. And I'm like, bro, how did you make 6 figures in a 4-week period and now you don't have it anymore? Bro, I don't even know. And that's the problem. You don't know. So what do we mean by process for your money? It means that there must be a step-by-step process with where that money goes by the time that money comes into your account. Now, we don't have enough time to go over that, but what I can share with you is this little nugget here, and it's called Profit First. I'd strongly recommend, screenshot this, y'all. Screenshot this book. It's a very short read, and the author is really good. He puts it into stories and a lot of humor. He makes it very easy to read. Profit First will tell you where to put your money and to create a process for your money. Now, if you're already thinking, Earon, I'm here to learn about wholesaling. I'm not here to learn about how to do my own bookkeeping and accounting. You're already behind the curve. We ain't even got to worry about you being competition because you ain't going to make it. I'm telling you right now, you got limiting beliefs. And I'm not trying to be ugly or demeaning or discouraging in any way. I'm trying to poke you in the chest because I want you to take action. Go read this freaking book. And if you don't want to read it, then go out and get it on Audible and listen to it a few times and just apply the few principles that it recommends for you to be able to manage your money, because I promise you it's going to change the entire game, okay? MC says, I have the PDF file if anyone needs. I love it. This is why it's so dope. This is why it's so dope to be a part of an amazing community like REI Revolution.
Yeah.
All right. So now that we have the 4 components as the context, as the framework, what are the next steps? You're going to focus on, remember what we said with the lamp? If you're holding a lamp, right? If you're holding a lamp, then you can see 5 feet in front of you. Walk the first 5 feet, then you'll get to the next 5 feet so that you can take the next step. So what I'm encouraging you to do is, I want you to focus on one thing, and that is I need for you to be bringing in leads.
Yes.
In other words, component number 1 is lead generation. Earon, I really want to focus on the money right now. Okay, listen to the Audible, but your action, the action is generating leads. Now, I don't care how you generate those leads, but here's the milestone I want you shooting for, guys. Here's the milestone I want you shooting for. Y'all ready? 3 to 5 leads a day will keep mediocrity away. 3 to 5 leads a day will keep mediocrity away.
Talk to us, Earon. What is a lead? Tell us about what is a lead. Talk to us.
Yeah. A lead is somebody who raises their hand and expresses interest in selling their real estate. Get rid of this idea that a lead is somebody who's calling you, begging you to please have your way with me. Whatever it is that you ask of me. Listen, that's not a lead. Now, no, don't get me wrong. It is a lead. But don't expect that. Don't expect that. A lead is just somebody who expresses interest. The reason why it's important to know this is because I want you getting excited every time somebody says, make me an offer. I want you getting fired up every time somebody hits your database that says, make me an offer. Because if you do something enough times, a ratio will appear. In other words, if you get enough leads in and make enough offers, then you will get contracts. X amount of leads will equal a contract. Period. So every time a lead comes in, get fired up. You should be peeing in your pants a little bit. You're so hyped up. And I don't care how you're generating the leads. SMS, RVM, PPC, SEO, PPL, radio broadcasting, TV, billboards, bandit signs, door knocking, cold calling. It don't even, VAs, it does not matter. Letter writing, doesn't matter. As long as so I'm not here to tell you how to market, right? I'm just giving you the principles. Now, I want you getting to 3 to 5 leads a day. Now, here's what's going to happen. And here's the next step. Are you ready? I need for you to maintain a 50 to 80% lead to offer ratio. Okay? That means if 5 leads come into your database and you bring your numbers to me, I want you to have made offers on 4 of them. Earon, but sometimes I don't like to make offers on people who I think that they're not gonna. You just messed up because you said I think, and that means you prejudge them. Yeah, but they were an investor. I could tell they weren't motivated. Oh, so you could read hearts. No, just make the offer. And by the way, you don't have to take my advice. I've only generated a few 7 figures. You don't have to take my advice. Maybe you know better than me, but I'm encouraging you because what's gonna happen is if you do something enough times, a ratio appears. Shoot the shot. You already did all the work of getting the lead in. You got 5 leads in. Don't prejudge the leads. Prejudice is the most ugly thing, and prejudice is what keeps people broke. Yeah. Hey, Earon, the lead came in, but I could see that, they were asking 400,000 and the Zestimate was 350. I'm not even going to call them. It's not worth my time. See, you think you're too good to be rich.
Damn.
Because you're prejudiced. You think you're too good. go make the doggone offer, because sometimes by making the offer and being the realest thing that person is talked to, sometimes you'll be surprised how they were trolling. But when they talk to you, they are willing to negotiate at a lower price. Or sometimes you'll make the offer and they'll tell you go kick rocks, and you say, hey, thank you so much for your time. You have a blessed day, right? But they remember that you were sincere. They remember that they had a dope conversation with you, even though you lowballed them. And then guess what? Then they end up calling you back 3 months, say, hey, is that offer still on the table? My husband died and he was the breadwinner, and now I'm in pre-foreclosure. Does that offer still stand? Guys, I closed my biggest wholesale fee because of that. Make the freaking offer. Okay. Hey, Donnell just put something from years ago. That was a slide that I did during the Closers Olympics. Man, look at me. I'm all
Yeah.
clean shaven. That's baby Earon right there. But yeah, so those are the next step. Now watch this. Let me show you what's gonna happen if you're generating 3 to 5 leads a day and maintaining an 80% offer to lead ratio. Here's what's gonna happen. The 4 leads a day, 5 days a week, times 4. You're gonna be generating hopefully about 80 leads a month. Okay. If you can generate 3 to 5 offers a day as well, all right, you should be maintaining anywhere from a 20 to 25 lead to contract ratio. 25 to 1 lead to contract ratio. Okay, let's take 80 divided by 25. I just gave you the formula for generating 2 to 3 contracts a month. Now watch this. The average wholesaler closes, the new rookie in
Oh man. We gotta get Earon back here, man.
1 to 2 contracts at scale closing every single month. Now, let's just say you closed 1 deal a month for 12 months straight after scale. Okay, let's say you closed 1 deal a month. What do y'all think the average wholesale fee is in the United States of America right now?
I want to say 15K.
7, 5, 12, 10K, 25, 10,000, 18. Now, if you're a veteran, if you're an OG, your sales skills are crazy, you're going to be about 18, 20K. My average assignment fee is 20K. Let's just say you're a beginner, we're going to talk about 12,500. 12,500 times 12, that's $150,000 in your first full year.
Mm.
And that's no cap, because I did $500,000 in my first year. So I'm sharing with you guys a bare minimum. And you know why most people won't do this, y'all? Because they will not stay consistent. They will not stay consistent. Now, with that said, John, we've been here for an hour. I have to go.
No, man.
I
gotta say,
I
I
have
really
to go.
I appreciate you coming on, Earon. The guys, I'm telling you, the amount of sauce that he shared, even in just 1 hour, this one call alone, guys. Before we let you go, Earon, I want to see people in the chat making an affirmation to talk about what is going to happen in the remainder of this year as we get ready to go into 2025. How many of us are going to make more than 6 figures every single year doing this? I'm going to be shooting for every single month. We're going to be making 100K on autopilot. That's the financial goal for me. We did it last year. We crushed 6 figures. Now we're going to scale and get that predictability for 6 figures a month. We are affirming this right now. Earon, it's been an absolute pleasure, brother. Thank you so much for coming on. Man, we've got people in here. Earon's going for 500,000 a month, man. I see he's branching out. He's doing way more now than just wholesale. I see he's got a whole exotic car business and everything now. Look at how it's a stepping stone to create the type of business, the type of life, the type of opportunities that you want for yourselves, ladies and gentlemen. Earon, I appreciate you so much, brother. Thank you so much for coming and joining us today, man.
John, this wasn't enough, bro. If it's okay with the community, and if you get honest feedback, and you can do a poll afterward, I would love to come back in a week or so,
Oh
because
yeah.
I feel like an hour was not enough, bro, and I feel like we can serve. I can do much better than this, and I feel like your community deserves so much better than this. I'm committing to this. If you want, in the next week, literally in the next week, I can come back and I'd be more than happy to serve for a longer period.
Oh man, I appreciate you, man. You have no idea how much that means to me, and I know everybody in here. I appreciate your time, brother, and let us know. I'm down. I'm down to run it back again next week. Let us know how many of us in the chat we want to see. Man, we got to chop it up at some time. If you got some time before that next week call, maybe just 15 minutes, man. I want to share with you some of the things that I've been working on, and some of the ideas that I have, because there's so much power in just, bringing people together, and I want to be mindful of your time. So if you got a jet, I understand, but we got to really start to connect, people that are doing this business at a much higher level as well. We do a lot for the people to get them through the door and create that opportunity, but for the people that have the proof of concept and that have the experience, to get those people together on a platform is going to be absolutely life-changing, man. And so that's what we've been building out. We've built a proof of concept on Discord. You can see it, it's here. Next step is getting the website, man. I'm so excited to reveal what we've been working on for so long, man. For so long we've been talking about it. So we're gonna chop it up, man. We should stay in touch, and we should get him back for next week. Ladies and gentlemen, drop a fire in the chat if you want to see Mr. Bevans come back next week. We got 60 people in here right now. How many of us want to see Earon come back next week and chop it up with us one more time?
All right, bet. We'll run it up. We'll run it up. I'll hit you up this evening, bro. Let's coordinate it. I love you guys. Thank you so much. John, I'm so proud of you, bro. And I'll see you guys next week. Much love, guys.
Brother. Love you too, man. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, this is the #1 most valuable real estate community in existence. If you haven't already, you got to invite somebody you think would benefit from being in proximity with us. We're going to be doing so much more as we get closer to 2025. If you think that what we've been doing on this Discord platform is incredible, just wait until we start to coordinate real life meetups and present to you the opportunities that we've been cooking up with this website. I'm telling you, all of the principles that were shared tonight, I hope that you all took notes. Even me, somebody who's already done a lot of this stuff, I'm never too good to take notes from someone that's ahead of me in the game, ever. You will see that I will remain a student of the game to whoever it is that I bring up here. It's not just to have a podcast. I don't do this for clout. I'm not trying to get popular on Instagram for likes. I'm doing this because this is actionable information and advice that each and every single one of us can apply to our businesses to get immediate results, ladies and gentlemen. So do not sleep on this opportunity. Just because we don't charge anybody to be in here doesn't mean that this information is not invaluable. Ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't already, you got to invite somebody to come and be in proximity with us. Send them that link. All right, we're going to get the website going, so send them to reirev.com and send everybody to discord.gg/reirev. Guys, if you want to catch the replay for this YouTube, I'm going to drop the YouTube link in the side chat at REI Revolution. You can go and subscribe to us on YouTube so that you can get the notifications, especially when we go live. If you don't see them on Discord, you can tap that bell and catch the replays for all these. We're going to be chopping it up. I've hired a content guy to chop up these clips. You're going to be seeing reels. We got a lot more to give to the industry and this community. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope that you all stay blessed. We love y'all, and we will catch you in the next one. Take care, everybody.